Hi and welcome back. If you're new to the channel, my name is Vince. Thanks for stopping by. You're very welcome here indeed. So 2 years seems to have just flown by. It's actually been 2 years since I started my NMN experiment. So in this video, I'm going to cover the last 3 months, which is February, March and April of 2021, and compare my results with previous results also. So enough waffling off me, let's jump into the spreadsheet and let's look at my objective stats. So as I said, this will be a review of my stats for February, March and April 2021, and the end of April marks my 2-year point at taking NMN. Remember, if you watch from the beginning, it took me quite a long time to get up to 1 gram a day, and it wasn't until I started to take the 1 gram a day along with the resveratrol and the TMG did I start to see a big difference. So let's get into it. My weight last time was 90.3 kilograms, and for those in the world, I'm sure there's more than just America, I've also put the pounds in there because I know some people don't know what a kilogram is. It was 90.3 kilos, 199 pound. I'm now 89.1 kilos, which is 196.4. So down 2.5 pounds since the last check. And I have to be honest, I can't remember the last time I weighed less than 90 kilos. It would have been definitely 15, 16, maybe 18 or 20 years ago when I was actually still serving in the army. So my BMI was 29.5. That is now 29.1. So that's down 0.4. And as you know, I'm not a big fan of BMI, but it's good for those that think it's a good marker. Percentage body fat was 24.7, is now 26.2. So that's up 1.5 since the last check, but still down overall 0.3 since I bought the new set of weighing scales. This ties into my body weight. So my body weight has gone down, but my fat mass has gone up. And then if we look at my muscle mass, that was 34.4. That has also gone down to 33.5, which is down 0.9. So body weight down, percentage body fat up, and muscle mass down. So that's strange. My basal metabolic rate, which is the rate at which you burn carbohydrates at rest, was 1837, is now 1816, so that's down 21. That's to be expected for the research I've done and the comments that I receive, and I'm always very appreciative of the comments. As your body weight goes down, your body doesn't need to burn so many calories to keep everything working, so this number will fluctuate. Not necessarily a health marker, but as your body weight goes down, the calorie requirement also goes down. That's what I've been led to believe. My waist size was 36. It is now 36. So it's been 36 now for the last 9 months. But things like my muscle mass, my fat percentage, etc. has moved. So again, and I understand that these are only snapshots. So I do this. I don't do this any other time other than just before I'm going to do these checks. And I know that maybe in a week or in 2 weeks, my numbers could have quite easily changed. But it's interesting that my waist hasn't changed, but my weight has gone down quite considerably. Visceral fat was 14 and is still 14. So my percentage body fat overall has gone up, but my visceral fat has remained the same. Again, not what I'd expect from the numbers. Some seem to be going in a certain direction and you'd assume others will go the same way. So percentage body fat goes up, maybe my visceral fat will go up as well, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So sleep, I'll scroll this to the top so we can just look at the last. We've got February, my average sleep was 6 hours 53, the light was 5 hours 14 and the deep was 1 hour 39. In March, my average was 6 hours 58, light was 4 hours 58, and deep was 2 hours a night, which is good. April was average of 6 hours 35, light was 4 hours 41, and my deep sleep was 1 hour 53. So for that whole quarter, the averages work out at 6 hours 48 minutes a night sleep. Light sleep was 4 hours and 58. but my deep sleep is 1 hour 51, and that's 27.21% of my overall sleep. And if you look at this from the last quarter, it was 23.9, so that's gone up quite considerably. And I'll scroll down. You can zoom in on your own computers or phones. You can look at all of the deep sleep stats. That is the highest level of deep sleep I've had since I started the experiment. The largest amount of average deep sleep I had overall was in July, where I was averaging 2 hours and 9 minutes a night, and here it's just 2 hours. But the overall average for that quarter is 27% of my sleep is deep. Now you'll notice also that the average sleep has gone from 7 hours something to 6 hours 53, 6 hours 58, 6 hours 48. I think I know the reason for that, because when COVID hit, we haven't been able to take our annual vacation in one block. We normally take a month and we go home. So what I've started to do, so I don't end up with a massive amount of leave left at the end of the leave year, is I started to take 1 day off a week, and it was usually a Thursday. Sometimes it was a Thursday and a Sunday. Now with that, I rightly or wrongly classed that as being the weekend. So instead of religiously going to bed at 10 because I knew I had to wake up between 5:30 and 6 to go to work, I knew I could still wake up at 5:30 or 6, go to the gym or go for a bike ride. I was going to bed slightly later, not a lot later, maybe 10:15, 10:30, occasionally 11 o'clock on the odd night. But I think that's the reason that these have gone to 6 hours and something as opposed to 7 hours or something. It's because instead of going to bed or starting to go upstairs at 10 to 10, I'm starting to get ready and go up at like 10 past 10. So probably not falling asleep until 10:30. So that's the reason that number's down, I believe. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But that number there, 27% of my sleep is now deep, is an excellent number. If you go into my playlists, I've got a playlist on the channel to do with sleep, and I list in there some of the things I've done and I continue to do to try and get my deep sleep, which is the most rejuvenating sleep we can get, try to get that number up as high as I can. So the last metric on this is resting heart rate. You can see there that for February it was an average of 59 beats a minute. In March it was 58.5, and in April it was 58. Now this is recorded every day on my phone, but unlike the sleep, I can't look at it as a monthly average. So what I do is I take the score I get on the 1st, 10th, 20th and 30th of the month, add them together and then divide that by 4, and that gives me the score. So the overall average for this quarter has been 58.5, and on this table that puts me at excellent, which is what it has been since the start. So that's it for the objective stats. So as far as I'm concerned, they all seem to be going in the right direction. Small movements, I agree. Some are going the wrong way, but nothing has gone back to what it was 2 years ago. So I'd be interested also to see what you think about my weight going down, my BMI going down, my muscle mass going down, but my body fat percentage going down. Those 4 factors moving in different ways don't seem to make much sense. So that's it for those set of stats. Let's now move on to my subjective stats for the last 3 months. So let's take a look at my update for January, February and March of 2021, and let's focus in on my more subjective comments or stats. First thing we'll look at is my supplement regime. So during the last 3-month period, I've taken nicotinamide mononucleotide, 1.5 grams, 1.5 grams of trans-resveratrol, 1.5 grams of berberine. I've had to take 2 grams of trimethylglycine, TMG, because they come in 1 gram tablets. I've taken 5,000 international units of vitamin D3, although since my last blood test, because my vitamin D3 was down a bit, I've been taking 10,000 international units on a Sunday.
I take 120 micrograms of vitamin K2, and that's the MK7 version, and 250 milligrams of magnesium, and that's the L-threonate version. I also take 200 milligrams of high molecular weight hyaluronic acid, and if you're taking hyaluronic acid, make sure that it is the high molecular weight version. Now, that's what I've been taking for quite a while. As of the 1st of February, I've also been taking Fisetin, and I take 2.4 grams of Fisetin on the 1st, 2nd and 3rd of the month. And I also take 2.4 grams of quercetin on the 1st, 2nd and 3rd of the month. There is some thinking behind a big bang to destroy senescent cells as opposed to taking it every day of the month. And as Dr. Sinclair often says, there's nothing wrong with not taking everything every day. It's good to give your body a rest. So that's the addition for this particular 3-month period, is 2.5 grams of Fisetin, 2.5 grams of quercetin, and that's for the first 3 days of each month. Moving quickly along, let's take a look at my fasting and diet regime for the last 3 months. Those that follow the channel will know that weekdays I don't eat after 8 o'clock at night, and I don't eat again until noon the next day. So that's a 16-8 fasting protocol. At the weekends, again, I try to finish eating at 8 p.m. That might sneak into 9 or 10 depending if you've got friends around, and I normally eat slightly earlier at the weekends if I have breakfast with the family. So diet, again, if you follow the channel, not many changes or not much change to my diet in the last 3 months. Lunch, as normal, is the high-fat yogurt with the resveratrol mixed into it. I've started to take parsley again, and I take 1 tablespoon of that for the apigenin, which, as you know, is a senolytic, trying to drive down my CD38. If I have snacks in the afternoon, it's normally nuts, which is almonds, cashew nuts, and occasionally walnuts. And I may have maybe once or twice a week a berry shake, and we're looking at strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries. For the evening meal, for my dinner, it's meat, which is usually ribeye steak, I'm very partial to, a homemade burger, or I will steam either salmon or Norwegian trout, and I have that with cruciferous vegetables, so I really like Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and occasionally cauliflower. So that's it for diet and fasting. So let's look at overall feeling and focusing in on my energy levels. For the last 3 months, I'm going to rate this as being high and steady. The 3 months prior to that, it was improving constantly. It's now leveled out, but still at a higher level. So plenty of energy, plenty of get up and go, no problem going to the gym, no problem getting up in the morning, no afternoon naps. And I'll probably cover this in a bit more detail when I also cover my gym performance. So let's now focus on other factors to do my overall feeling, and the first one is napping. I think this is important because a lot of the people that are in my unofficial control group still like to nap in the afternoons, and some of them have said that they must nap before they go and do their late afternoon, early evening exercise, and I really don't have to do that. That said, it is Ramadan here, and if you think back to the last time I did an update around the Ramadan time, I'd stopped taking my NMN at work at lunchtime and was taking it in the afternoon. And after maybe 2 or 3 days, I was starting to feel tired because I don't think it had time to kick in, and I was looking for my afternoon nap. I forgot about that, and I did exactly the same thing this year. And I was also feeling tired in the afternoon. So I started to take it first thing in the morning, and that tired feeling that wanted me to migrate to the sofa has completely gone away. So that's an interesting insight. Motivation levels, as always, high, remaining steady. I'm always making plans, looking forward to the future, always mentally active. That can be kind of counterproductive because although it's good to sleep on a problem, that 15-20 minutes when I'm lying in bed trying to calm down and go to sleep and I've got things running around in my head, it can be quite frustrating. Gym performance, as before, steady, probably slightly improving. I'm lifting similar if not slightly heavier weights. I'm doing the same if not slightly more reps, or I'm leaving a slightly less time gap between doing my sets. The cycling I used to do that I had to stop because if you remember before I'll put the video up, very dangerous roadworks going on. They've opened a few of the roads around where I cycle, so I've been able to go out and cycle in the morning. It's also Ramadan, so cycling in the morning, the roads are fairly empty. Now, when I started this experiment 2 years ago, I put a cap on training between 2 and 3 times a week. So either 1, 2, or 3 times a week. And the reason I did that was because that's all I could manage. 3 times a week, and I thought I was doing too much, or I would lose motivation. I wouldn't have the energy to do it. If you think back to the last video I did, I talked about feeling frustrated because I wanted to go to the gym or I wanted to cycle more. For the next 3 months, I'm going to change that. I'm going to train now between 2 and 4 times a week for the next 3 months to see if I can do it and to see if my energy levels remain high. After that, I may look at increasing it again. But at the moment, I really do think if I'm training on a Monday and I know I'm going to train on a Wednesday and Tuesday's my day off, before I used to say, great, day off, I can migrate to the sofa, I can watch TV, I can relax. Now I'm thinking, I just want to go for a bike ride, half an hour, or go to the gym and just do an aerobic session in the gym. So I'm not going to force that. I'm not going to stop that feeling. I'm actually going to act on it now, and I'm going to train between 2 and 4 times a week for the next 3 months. Injuries, no injuries at all in the last 3 months, and I think it's a while ago when I damaged the tendon or the muscle in my elbow that was causing me a bit of pain. Not for the last 3 months, and again that's completely gone. And again I'm lifting heavier weights. I'm leaving less time between reps, and I'm doing more. So I'm leaving less time between sets, and I'm doing more reps, and none of that pain or injury has come back at all. So that's good. Sickness, no sickness whatsoever. It's getting to that time of year again where the cool weather's going. It's starting to get warm. It's up into the 40s now on some days. This is the time that most people get those upper respiratory infection diseases, and for me, nothing at all. So that's good with regard to my overall feeling.
So I hope you found that interesting. I think as far as I'm concerned, everything seems to be heading in the right direction. Small changes in the right direction. Some may be coming back, but nothing coming back anywhere near to what they were at the beginning of the 2-year experiment. This is the 2-year point, and as I continue to gather this data, I think it's going to be more and more useful as the years roll on. This is not, as I said at the beginning, a short-term thing. This is going to go on until the day I die, whenever that may be. Some interesting other points that I think are pertinent. Things are opening up here in the Middle East with regard to people wearing masks. You still need to wear them, but when you're sitting down and social distancing, you can take them off. So I visited an office I hadn't visited for quite a while. I sat down, took my mask off, and the girls in the office looked and said, there's something different. And I said, maybe I've cut my hair. And they looked again and said, no, it's... one of them actually accused me of having had Botox treatment. So maybe over the last year, and I've had a few comments in the comment section saying I'm looking more youthful, or my features and my face are looking like a younger person. Maybe with the 1 year of the mask being on, because I think we've been in COVID now for about a year, and then suddenly seeing it, maybe it's maybe something is changing. I don't know. My unofficial control group, and there are kind of 2 elements to that. There are people that I know who are in their late 40s, mid to late 40s, and another group who are, like myself, mid to late 50s and some in the early 60s. The guys who are in their 40s, not really much changes, not really many changes going on there. However, the people in my group, what I have noticed, especially over the last 3 to 6 months, is a couple of them are starting to put on a little bit more weight. A couple of them, definitely in the 2 years that I've been doing this, have got greyer. Now, I'm not saying my hair is going back and becoming darker, but as far as I'm aware, it hasn't got any greyer. So that may be just the normal speed that I'm gonna go grey at. I don't know, or it may be as a result of the experiment. 2 people I know, unfortunately, have had to have operations and have had stents fitted because of the blood flow issues they've got. and one person has been warned by his doctor that if he doesn't change his lifestyle significantly, he will become type 2 diabetic within the near future. So that's the control group, who are definitely making changes in the wrong direction, whereas I think I'm going in the right direction, which is either staying where I am and moving forward more slowly, or actually I'm going backwards. The next big thing with regard to the experiment is my blood test, and that happens in about 3 to 4 weeks time, so look out for that video. I hope you found this particular update interesting. So 2 years in, let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I look any different. Go back and look at my first or maybe second or third update. Look at the stats I was pulling in then, look at the way I was talking then, the things I was doing, and see if I've made, or if there's been any advances, or if you think things are looking as you would expect them to look for someone who is now 2 years younger. So, as always, thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Please take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.